Will your son, when he succeeds you, be a constitutional monarch?
Jordan is going through changes and will continue to go through changes. We're now calling for early elections so that we have a new election law that gives much more transparency, much more participation, a much better quality of parliamentarians. And so I think where you have the issue that democracy is going to happen through the ballot box, we've seen several cases in the Middle East where actually it's gone the other way. We have to push the envelope, and it comes down to education, to empowerment, to a larger role in society. We are embarking on a major program which I think will allow Jordanians to move democracy in the right direction in Jordan. That's decentralizations. If you look at the Arab world, very strong central governments. The program that we have in Jordan now is to decentralize and give more power to the people across the different governance. But again, this is something that we've realized through experience can't happen overnight. There's the issue of capacity building also, that they're capable of being able to move their societies forward. So we are addressing all these issues. It takes time, and I wish it could move faster than it has been. I think when I look back at the past 10 years of the reform aspect of our country, in many cases, sometimes you take 2 steps forward, 1 step back. There is resistance for change. There's a resistance to ideas. When we try to push the envelope, there are certain sectors of society that say this is a Zionist plot to sort of destabilize our country, or this is an American agenda. So it's very difficult to convince people to move forward. I believe that
what's the end goal? Let me repeat my final question, which was, will your son be a constitutional monarch? Now, of course, given your age, that he's going to wait for a long time. But at some point, I mean, Prince Charles hasn't seen anything yet. It's going to take a while. But at the point he ascends the throne, what will Jordan look like?
I know exactly what you're saying, and what I'm trying to say is that the way Jordan is today is not going to be the Jordan of tomorrow. But having said that, how do you make that transition? If you look at Europe by itself, there are several monarchies there, all have different strengths and weaknesses on how they deal with the governments and with civil societies. The future that I see of my country is, and again, Europeans understand this, is for democracy to move, I think in our part of the world, is the strengthening of the middle class. 10 years ago, I said, my role is to be able to get food on the table. What I'm trying to say by that is trying to create a vibrant, capable, and effective middle class. The quicker and stronger that we can be able to do this, the easier it is for political reform to move forward. So from day one, my view has always been in strengthening our society and getting Jordanians to have a much stronger role that then leads to political reform for the future of my country. And that's the only way that you can get. Monarchies have to adapt and they have to move forward. But I think that's all I can say now. It's a partnership between me and the people of being able to move the society so that they're capable of moving the democracy forward. And I know that the Jordanians have it in them and have the capability. And I hope that as we start with decentralization, that's going to move Jordan strongly.
A final question.